is the 10-year anniversary. We're honoring the athletes, the coaches, the officials, the contributors, and the administrators, those people who are extremely important to the entire part of school activities programs. There's a role that each one of them plays, yet there's a common thread, and that's that part of developing team players and leadership.
The most fond memories that I have are the camaraderie with my teammates outside of practice, the things that we did after games. We went to dinner together, we went to the movies together, just kind of having a family bond.
It took me a few years before it got real clear to me what I wanted to accomplish, and my overarching theme is to empower young people through sport. And once I came to that conclusion, then it became much easier for me to do the job.
First memorable moments as a coach was the first league championship we won in 1985. I promised the boys that if we won the league title, they could shave my mustache. And my son was on the team, and he was the first swipe, and they shaved my mustache.
At Lakeside, Takia led the Lions to an amazing, get this, 86-1 record. 2 AA state titles in basketball, hitting their game winner to win the title as a freshman with the Franklin Quakers. As a senior, Takia averaged over 22 points a game and 12 rebounds per game and was named a first-team All-American and also got into the state finals for another appearance. For her prep hoop career, Takia scored 2,024 points with 950 rebounds and 465 steals. Was named to Star Times twice and Female Prep Athlete of the Year in 1994.
When you're in competition in high school and in basketball, you learn a lot about resiliency. You learn about setting goals, you learn how to problem solve, you learn coping skills, you learn how to use your wins and your losses to grow.
Sandy served as a graduate assistant coach at Central Missouri State University before being hired at Lakeside High School here in Seattle. And that was in 1979, and she continues there to this day. Sandy is the current athletic administrator at the upper and middle schools after teaching PE and coaching. In 26 seasons of coaching basketball, the Lions won 473 games under Sandy, 9 league championships, 8 district championships, and 5 state championships.
I think one of the important concepts is to figure out what you can control and what you can't. And so in terms of things I can control my preparation, I can control my effort, I can control managing my emotions, I can control modeling good behavior, and then I have to learn to accept the things I can't control. The officials, the illness, all the things that can happen outside of the control of a game.
Marco was a multi-sport athlete at Peninsula High School in baseball, basketball, and football, and Peninsula High School in the Gig Harbor area with a proud tradition itself. Marco went on to play semi-pro baseball and slow-pitch softball, making 7 national appearances for the Heidelberg slow-pitch team. Decided to go into coaching, eventually settling in for a hugely successful 33-season stretch as head baseball coach at his alma mater, Peninsula High School, from 1980 to 2012. Marco was named the Washington State High School Baseball Coach of the Year in baseball in 2006, and that was the same year that his Peninsula Seahawks played in what was really the first tournament. I had a chance to PA there too for that, and that was at Safeco Field, the home of the Mariners.
Playing in Safeco Field was awesome. It was, I looked up in the stands and half of Gig Harbor was there, it looked like. There was 5,000–6,000 people, and it was just awesome. I felt like Lou Piniella, and a tear came to my eye.
Some of my most memorable moments with WIAA probably was in the year 2000 at the state high school basketball tournament, involving a game for the championship with Blaine and Luke Ridnour, of course, the great star, against Wapato High School. They had a pesky little team, and they ended up Blaine winning the state championship in overtime.
We were a small B school, and we had snow on the field one time, and we decided for the game the next day we'd take our snowmobiles and slush it up a little bit. And the problem was the next day it froze. The snow never melted, so we played a game on frozen snowmobile tracks.
Mel is a graduate of Keona Benton High School and attended Wenatchee Valley Community College, where he played football and basketball. Mel then moved to Yakima, volunteering for over 30 years in baseball and coaching AAU basketball. Mel has been a longtime assistant state basketball tournament manager, assisted at the volleyball state tournament, been doing that since 1998, and also has helped out with the state dance and drill team competition. Mel has been recognized and was in 2010 by the WIAA with the Kurt and Chichi Brusklund Service Award. Living in Yakima with his wife of 42 years, that's Vicki, his wonderful wife Vicki. They have 3 children and 4 grandchildren.
I love athletics. I love the competition. I love to watch young people challenge themselves. I like to watch them contest for championships, see their success, and see how they handle failure as well as success.
Gilby Sr. was a 4-sport letterman, a star, a great athlete at Snohomish High School. He graduated from Snohomish in 1945 with 10 letters in tennis, basketball, football, and track. One of those great 4-sport athletes. Gilby was captain of the first undefeated 9-0 Snohomish Panthers team in football in school history, and the first 2-time most inspirational player for the football teams. Had a great time there at Washington State. They wanted to coach at his alma mater, Snohomish High School, for 61 years.
The number of athletes and parents that he has touched, I can't begin to say, but it's numbers in the thousands.
In terms of memorable moments would be just how dedicated he was, how passionate he was about coaching and helping young people and seeing people improve. One thing I'm most proud of is that he was involved in helping and coaching minorities and female athletes long before it was fashionable.
He coached track and field, cross country, and football, of course, winning numerous regional awards and titles. And as head coach of cross country, Gilby's Panthers team won the state championships in 1965 and 1960 as well. He was an assistant coach for the school's state basketball championship in 1970 and also an assistant football coach for the state championship teams in 1976 and 1978. Following retirement for him really wasn't retirement, Gilby continued on as an assistant coach at Snohomish High School.
He researched, he learned, he continually was at clinics, taking trips, talking to people at levels higher than high school about what they were doing to get their athletes to perform at peak levels. And he cared about people, and he had a way to, he had a way to reach young people, reach athletes, so that they knew that he just totally cared about their well-being and them getting better, and that he was all for them.
Dave attended Liberty High School. He's a native of Spangle, Washington. He starred in football and basketball at Liberty. In football, he averaged 15 and 19 tackles in his junior and senior years and finished with 9 interceptions from the linebacker position, 3 of which he was able to return for touchdowns. He also led the basketball team to a pair of State B appearances, and then he continued his career in football at Spokane Falls Community College and had a stellar career there before transferring right here to Seattle, up across the mountains to play at the University of Washington. Dave was a co-captain for 2 seasons, culminating with a Pac-8. That was 2 Pacs ago, before they went to the Pac-10 and then to the Pac-12 here recently, and came through with a Pac-8 title, and that was when Moon was the quarterback, and a victory over Michigan in the Rose Bowl. Following college, Dave was selected in the 2nd round of the NFL draft and played 5 seasons with the Oakland Raiders, and he has a championship ring from winning the 1981 Super Bowl. Dave also played with the New England Patriots in the United States Football League, and then he moved on to get back to Eastern Washington and has been inducted in both the Community Colleges of Spokane and NWAC Hall of Fame for his community college play there in Spokane.
Today's student athlete really needs to concentrate on their studies. To go on to higher levels is a very rare thing, but you need to always dream and you need to make your own memories. You just can't sit there and think it's going to happen by yourself. All the hard work that you need to do as far as your training, you need to excel at that, but you also need to stay in school.
I enjoyed refereeing. I developed a lot of friendships within our officiating board. The impact an official can have first is with the knowledge of the game, being recognized as a fair and competent official, you can set the tone for a match where sportsmanship should rule. And the other important thing is to control the match from the start of the match, and that leads to good sportsmanship again.
I was raised in a very small community up on Whidbey Island, a little teeny town called Coopville. And we had a hard time keeping music teachers at the high school. The one teacher we did keep actually lived in Seattle. And not wanting to stay around on Friday nights for a basketball game, he asked if I would, when I was a sophomore, he asked if I would conduct the pep band at these basketball games. And from that moment on, I was hooked.
Ted has had a 3-decade career of teaching in the North Shore School District, 27 of which as the president of the Washington Music Educators. Ted has been teaching and conducting music at Inglemoor High School since 1983. Ted is an outstanding teacher with various bands throughout the year at Inglemoor, winning many awards throughout the year for their great achievements. Ted has also been music director at his church for 15 years and is an inductee to the Washington Music Educator Hall of Fame, being inducted in 2004. And also in Inglemoor, PTSA Golden Acorn Award winner in 2010, which is for great achievement in the classroom.
The most memorable moments are when I get an email or a phone call from a former student that's actually continuing on in music or using music as part of their life experience.
You look at this great organization, the WIAA, that started in 1905. It's had a tremendous run and it has affected so many of our lives. And for our inductee this year as administrator is the very first executive director of the WIAA, Henry DeYoung.
For years and years, we'd been trying to find out information about him. We knew where he started his administrative work, but we didn't know how to get a hold of him. And then just out of the blue, a few months ago, we got an email from his daughter who lives in California saying that she had quite a bit of memorabilia and wondered if we wanted any of it for our office. So we have a DVD of a lot of his letters and pictures, and she sent us a phenomenal artifact, which happens to be a blanket with a lot of school letters.
He became the very first executive director of the Washington Officials Association and the WIAA in 1950, 63 years ago. His tenure of 13 years at the head of the WIAA marked a great time of innovation and growth for the organization, and also great contributions to the Washington Officials Association. Carol has done a tremendous job as an officiant. She has officiated volleyball for 39 years, and that is not an easy sport to be an official for. It moves fast, and so she's been involved in volleyball officiating at the middle school and high school levels, and also officiates basketball, has done that. In volleyball, Carol has worked district tournaments all over the state for over 25 years. Carol has also been an assigning secretary, or the assigning secretary for volleyball for the Central Washington area for 25 years. Just a great tenure. She's a winner of numerous awards for her dedication and excellence in officiating. Carol was an inductee to the Washington Officials Hall of Fame in 2005. That's a tremendous honor, and joins our Hall of Fame today.
Sportsmanship means where the athlete, the coach, and the official, everybody respects each other, to know the game, to play the game by the rules that were developed, and fair play, which WIAA really pushes. Fair play is very, very important, and the official, again, can set the tone for the game to be played the way it should be.
Perhaps the good Lord will let us play in heaven, and when I stepped out of my wheat field of dreams, I hope I'll get to wear a Liberty Lancer uniform one more time.
I would say my athletic career was great. It was about defying the odds. It was about impacting the next generation.
I really appreciate this recognition from the WIAA. It is indeed an honor that I will cherish for the rest of my life, and I'm really, really humbled. So on behalf of the coaches and family and ex-athletes at table 13 and 18, I want to just say thank you very much.
And I owe a big thanks to Al Rogers and Virginia Hayes for the official I was.
Even though there's one name on the award, it's always a collaborative effort.
Without your support and guidance, I would not be here for sure. So when you look at me, I want you to hear this. Please recognize the difference you have made in my life and give yourself a much-deserved pat on the back.